We're A-Game, a 100% Black-owned company with an all-natural product and world-class customer service. We're headquartered in California, and we manufacture, package, and ship right here in the United States. We ship to more than 125 distributors worldwide. Normal processing is 2 to 3 days, and we employ virtual tracking until our product is received. So, no matter where you are in the world, here we come, and we're bringing your A-game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello. How is everybody? Everybody doing all right? I know y'all been watching the game and y'all been eating some good food. So for those of you all who celebrate Turkey Day, happy Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Pharaoh. Said Kendra, go ahead and cook us a Thanksgiving caliber V. It is highly anticipated. And thank you, Brian Mays. Thank you both for kicking off the contributions. We got a good one today. I thank you, Too Tall. When Donnie said he been cleaning the house, I actually was kind of chilling. Just, you know what kind of day it is today? Today is a crochet day. I want to crochet a blanket. You like the stuffing? Today is a crochet day. Just give me, because I just bought some Afghan hooks. Perfect for a blanket. I was looking up some different stitches I can try. But anyway, that's just me. You know, curl up and watch a movie and just crochet. That's real relaxing. I only want to crochet in the wintertime. Maybe because crochet make me think of scarves and keeping warm. I don't know. You've been stuck on a granny square. You know, I never mastered granny squares. After they get so big, I lose count, and then they start getting circular rather than square. I hate when I do that. Thank you, Unity. Said peace and blessings. I don't celebrate pagan days. Bless you. Thank you so much. Unity for that contribution on Thanksgiving. And congratulations, Brian said he got accepted into the PhD program at LSU. That is awesome news. Congratulations on that. Hey, Miss Celine, thank you. So I finished my online math with an 84 early. Hey, congrats to you too. Brian, that is so awesome. So awesome. You know, in the spirit of the day, even though I don't celebrate different holidays, I am thankful. I am thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the way in which you support this channel. You guys support it monetarily. You guys support it in the spirit of it. You guys come here, you listen to me, you click the like button, you engage, you spread the message to other people online, offline, you know, and I really feel as if we've become this more tight-knit group. And I really appreciate each and every one of you, right? We've done so much growing over the past 2 years. It's really been phenomenal. And I have you all to thank for it because, I mean, obviously, I would not have a successful channel if it were not for my subscribers and the people that come and support each and every day. The people who chat each and every day. You guys motivate me. When I see the numbers, when I see the participation, when I see people come and say that the message that we spread here has changed their lives for the better, that they've gained some understanding, or that something in their life has improved because of what they get from this content, that's the thing that motivates and spurs me. Thank you so much. Once again, Pharaoh said, whenever you say celebrate our brothers, I cry a tear of joy. I give thanks to you having our backs. And you're so very welcome. And thank you, Stephen West. I keep preaching the gospel, sis. Thank you so much. So, thank you, Gail. So, I really appreciate. Thank you, Nehemia. I remembered. Thank you so much. So I really appreciate all of the participation I get. I remember a few years ago, my highest viewed video was 8,000 views. And it took me a long time to get a video that beat that. Now it's regular to get 15,000, 10,000, 20,000, depending on the video and things of that nature, that many views, because I know people are sharing and I know people are getting things from it. And that is the motivation. That's the motivation. That's what keeps me coming back each day for a live stream, making sure that you guys have content every day, right? Because trust and believe, your girl kind of lazy. Your girl kind of lazy. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I'm not low-key lazy, because I will be like, ooh, let me kick a toe up. I thought about it just today. I was like, man, I wonder if they would mind too much if I didn't do a show. And then it's like, no, people get things out of it. It's not just, we come here, we kick it and we have a good time. But at the same time, people's lives are being changed, and that has to weigh something. That counts for so much. And it's my duty to honor that. Yeah, your car said, at least I'm not high-key lazy. I can be. I can get real lazy. I can get that lazy bone in my body, get activated. And I will curl up and watch a bunch of movies. Thank you, Top Dog. So let's go ahead and get into the content. Let's go ahead and get into the content. Y'all know what it is, that lazy bone get activated. Lazy spirit activate. Lazy spirit activate. That's because that's really a spirit. I sit down and curl up with a book in a minute. Okay. But we're going to get into the content. I just wanted to take time out to thank everybody, really from the bottom of my heart. But we got the white man that black women say they're going to divest to. And I keep trying to tell y'all that white men don't see y'all collectively as a group. White men do not see black women as a viable option for like wifing y'all and seriously dating y'all. They don't see it for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is what this guy's going to say here. And this really is just his opinion and his observation, but I thought it would be important to talk about it because he's not the only one. He's not the only one. This is how white men see you. And not just white men. This is how men of other ethnicities see black women, and it's black women's fault. And y'all trying to blame black men for this and society and all that type of stuff. And we not buying it. But I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to let you guys see what I'm talking about. And then we're going to come back and cook. So let me show this screen here. And then we're going to take a look at some of the comments as well. Now, the stitch that he did actually didn't have a whole lot to necessarily do with what he's saying. Yes and no. I can see why he did a stitch to it, but we just going to let it speak for itself.
Society has this really weird obsession with stripping the femininity away from Black women.
All right, look, I'm sure this is going to get me into trouble, but I want to hear everybody's opinion on this. And please understand, I realize I'm making this observation as a white dude. That's why I want to hear everybody else's opinion. So she says that society is stripping away the femininity of Black women. However, throughout my life, I've met very few feminine Black women. Like seriously, when I think about all the women I've encountered in my life, and I think specifically about the Black ones, I can honestly say that there's only been 1 or 2 instances where they've been feminine. The vast majority of Black women I've encountered have been brusque and aggressive. And even though a ton of them have been absolutely fucking gorgeous, they were significantly more masculine than they were feminine. In the way they acted, not the way they looked. So my question is, do you think it's society doing it? Or is it just the behaviors of Black women in society today?
Society has a...
Now, we're going to look at a couple of comments. We're not going to go all up and down the comment section. But we got a lot of Black women coming into defense force. But no, this is y'all man. This is y'all, the man y'all want, saying this about y'all. We got one says, maybe the ones you met didn't trust you and put up a defense to protect themselves against you. We can't be vulnerable for certain people. I think society tends to expect people to act a certain way and then stereotypes people when they do and punishes them when they don't. I think you have encountered too few. I think the ones you met, you didn't get to know them. You have a preset mind because of society. In what type of situations are these energies being presented? I think it's generationally taught as a historical sort of defense mechanism. This person does not appear to be Black. I think this is like a white lady that said that. I wanted to read one more that I thought, this is a Black dude. He said, I don't think society stripped it, but there was definitely a think tank that put the idea out there and it was adopted, thinking it is powerful. Right. Some people mistake defensive aggressive with sassy and spicy. That equals passion. Trust me, next time you see one, just smile and wink at her. I thought this one was interesting. I want to know what these men consider masculine. I think it's likely culturally because Black women are raised to be strong. Then society causes them to be stronger because they have to be. Then his response was, or do they end up alone and have to be stronger because them acting tough and masculine pushes men away? The amount of BS Black women got to deal with from Black men, followed by everyone else, makes them set up barriers to have to be tougher. Then as they get tougher, they're seen as less femme. And the more they are seen as less femme, the more protections they got to put up. Crazy to see so many people tell Black women who they are. I'm almost done. I'd only like to ask, what do you expect from Black women when we constantly have to be in defense mode with little to no protection? Look at our men tearing us down constantly, always the topic of conversation. I guess we should just bat our eyes and laugh, right? Okay, so we done. The amount of deflection, okay, that we see is astronomical. Thank you once again, Pharaoh. Said there are more and more white men making vids like this. There are. There are. Thank you, Dusty Ink. Said, may your perpetual light continue to shine above Babylon. You don't know how much we value you in our communities despite the detractors. We love you, sister. Please continue to educate our people on the debauchery. Please. Thank you so much. So the amount of deflection is astronomical. The blaming of the culture. Before we get to the blaming of the culture and blaming black men for this, I want to point out something to the black women who are like, no, it's just all of these other factors. Nobody is blind. Y'all are not living in a bubble or a vacuum. Men know what is the difference between masculine energy and feminine energy. Men know the difference. Black men know the difference. White men know the difference. Mexican men know the difference. Asian men know the difference. African men know the difference. Native American men know the difference. That Indian men know the difference. Arab men know the difference. Everybody knows the difference. Thank you, Stephen. Okay? Everybody knows the difference. You are not in some type of special world where you are feminine, but other people just can't see it. No, thank you, Professor Costa. This is totally redefined how I see qualities I seek when looking for a woman. Femininity has rose to the top regarding qualities fit for a wife. Exactly. And thank you so much. No, everybody knows what is masculine and what is feminine. Everybody understand it. You understand it. You know the difference between being masculine and feminine. It's not just in certain situations. It's not just in certain circumstances. It's not just in certain. Y'all deny being feminine when you have an opportunity to be feminine. You deny that. You don't like that. You don't like nothing that femininity entail. You actually actively reject all of it. You reject all of it. Thank you, Miss Celine said white men see through the fake femininity. It's not a switch. Exactly. See, this is the thing. Black women will sit up and say that black men being passport bros or them going to white women is just because the white women are more agreeable, they're more submissive, they're softer. If you think black men are going to white women or other ethnicities of women for that reason, what do you think white men expect out of his woman? What do you think white men expect? White women act a certain way collectively because they understand they man culturally. They know that if they want white men to see them a certain way, see them as wife material, see them as worthy of being married to and taken care of, that they got to present themselves a certain way to those men. Because there are certain things in white culture that is acceptable and certain stuff that is not with women. They know that. They understand they man. So they know that they cannot reveal to their man that they got a high body count from college. They know they can't do that. Even if it's true, they know they can't say that. They can't even allude to it. They cannot even allude to it. They gotta master the I'm an innocent white girl, I would never do that image, even if they slutted it out in college. They gotta still come correct later and be like, oh no, this is the family I come from and this is the values that I was raised with. This is how I act as a woman. I watch my mom and my this and my that. So they know what to say to their men and how they gotta behave. Or else they men not gonna tolerate it. White women, by and large, cannot get nowhere out in public in droves talking about how they not gonna cook, how they not gonna raise no kids, how they not gonna clean no house, how they not gonna do no duties, how they not gonna be nice to his mama. See, white women cannot do that. And they know that. They know that. feminism or not, they know that they cannot be telling white men by and large that we are not going to do any of the things that y'all value for wives. We're not going to do that. And still expect white men to marry them. They know they can't say that. Thank you, DeMario. They know they can't do that. But black women will get out here and y'all will talk about how many hundreds of men y'all have slept with, how many thousands of men y'all have slept with, how many OnlyFans y'all got, how many baby daddies y'all got, how y'all treated this dude bad and that dude bad, how y'all not gonna cook, how y'all not gonna clean, how y'all not gonna do nothing that a man want. You gonna use them for his money. You gonna use them for a come up. Y'all come up and say that stuff. Thank you, LCN Royalty. Thank you so much. Y'all come out and say this kind of stuff out loud where everybody can hear you and everybody can see you. Then on top of that, you perpetuate and participate in a whore's image. So white women, whether they hoeing or not, they don't participate in their overall image being that of whores. They don't participate with that. The whorish white women are in a separate category than the wife white women. The women who want to slut and do OnlyFans and prawn and all of that kind of stuff. The women who want to be wives, they don't associate the image together. That's a different white woman. That's a different kind of white woman. That's the white woman that never made nothing out of herself. She never got out of that college, I'm going to slut it up, I'm going to be at the frat party thinking. She never came out of that. So she not going to get nowhere. She is going to end up a single mom. She is going to end up with baby daddies. She is. She going to end up like that. Nobody's going to want her. Nobody's going to wife her. Nobody's going to see no value in her because she don't come with none. Now, I may have experience. See, a white woman tell you I experimented. That means I racked up a lot of bodies. She not going to say that. She, I experimented in college. Those were my college days. That's what she gonna do. Thank you, Miss Celine said white men are much more brutal on white women, more than black men to black women. Exactly. And this we know. They don't allow all. Why do you think white women do not get fat like that? Now, I'm not saying there ain't no fat white women, but I'm saying when they're looking to get married and stuff like that, they don't tell white men, oh, you just got to accept me big. No. No. So much so that it became popularized that it was white women that had eating disorders. You didn't really see a lot of black women with like anorexia or bulimia or nothing like that. That was a stereotype that was attached to white women. And the reason that stereotype was attached to white women is because it was like the stereotype was they would obsess over not being fat because they knew men would not marry them if they was too big. That men would look down upon them and see them as low value if they were big. So that stereotype got attached to them that a white girl ain't gonna eat nothing. She gonna eat rabbit food and lettuce and stuff like that. And then she gonna be anorexic so that she don't gain no weight, and all that type of stuff. She jog every day and blah, 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 blah. Those things became attached as stereotypes about white women. And as we know, stereotypes are usually rooted in some kind of truth. I watch every morning, whether it's raining, whether it is getting chilly now in Chicago, the white women that are my neighbors, will come outside with them strollers. They hair be in a ponytail. And they be having on their little leggings and stuff like that, and they little hoodie. And they will jog and push that stroller. Do you understand me? She be having 2, 3 kids, but she ain't gained no weight. See, white women understand certain things, right? Asian women understand certain things. Asian women understand that our men don't play that. They don't play back talk. They don't play all of that foolishness. They don't play. I'm not going to be able to be this man's wife and not cater to his mother and father. I'm not going to be able to be this man's wife and not raise his kids a certain way and not run this house a certain way. I'm not going to be able to do it. Indian women understand. Indian Pakistan women understand. I'm going to have to be able to get along with his family because I got to adopt them as my family. They got to like me. They got to like me. Not just him. They do. I got to impress them. I got to impress his mom and his dad. I got to impress his brothers and sisters. They got to like me for him to marry me. They know that. All of them understand they got to be feminine. All of them understand they can't be obese. All of these women understand they got to be nice to their husband. All of these women understand they got to be family oriented. They all know this except for black women. Black women are the ones that want black men to accept them 300 and 400 pounds, 4 and 5 children already, bad attitudes. Let's just and no wife skill. And the refusal to adopt any wife skill. Because when men talk about what is a wife to black women, they scoff at that. When black men tell black women, this is what we value. Let's say, for instance, that being a wife is only household duties. It's only cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, raising kids. Let's just say, we know that there's more to being a wife. But let's just pretend for a moment that that is all that being a wife is. Okay? All that being a wife is the chores. Let's just pretend that for a moment. Black women have come out in droves to say what? We ain't gonna do that. Even if we just boiled down wifehood to cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, and raising some kids, black women have said that is not what they are going to do. Thank you, Charles. They have said that out of their mouth repeatedly. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning up. I'm not going to have sex with you. I'm not going to raise your kids. I'm not going to do any of that. So if the qualification of being a wife is cooking, cleaning, raising kids, and having sex with your husband, and y'all are saying y'all not going to do that, guess what you disqualified yourself from? You just disqualified yourself from wifehood. You just disqualified yourself from femininity. Because you see all of these elements of femininity as a weakness and as slavery and something that you should not do. So you automatically adopt masculinity. There's only 2 energies. masculine and a feminine. That's all. So if you actively reject femininity and all that go along with femininity, then you have picked up masculinity. And men do not want that. Thank you again, Miss Celine. I love and respect white men as a white woman, but I cringe when I hear divestors act as though white men offer a fairy tale life to them. Thank you. And on that note, we're going to go on a commercial break, but after these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, we're downloading A-Game's formula.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now we had to get Iron Man on a dance off. And the only way he could do that is he had to take him some A game. You see what I'm saying? Some A game, some A game, some A game. Gotta be on your A game in order to have that type of energy and any kind of energy that you need in your life as a man on a day-to-day basis, because checking on and making sure that you are in the best of health is something that every man should be concerned with, but also the lionesses should be concerned as well for the men in her life that she's supporting. Because second to spiritual is the health value, so very important, because a lot of times men just being men are gonna overlook, things and just try to push through, and they're not really gonna pay attention all the time to the different signs that their body gives them for slowing down or for checking up on their health. So one of the best ways to get on a health journey or to continue a health journey for men is through A game, because A game is a natural support, 21 herbs, no artificial ingredients, nothing to give you side effects or to make you crash. And it supports men's vitality, their energy, their strength, and their libido. So this is what's really gonna give you that natural boost where you can feel that positive energy and that positive effect on your health for up to 72 hours, because it lasts just that long and it acts really fast. So within maybe like 30 minutes or so of taking A game, you begin to feel those effects. So if you want to become part of the A game family, all you got to do is click the link at the top of the chat at agameherbal.com. And also, please don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 so you can have A game delivered to you ASAP. And I'm smiling and everything because I got a surprise for y'all tomorrow. Y'all are going to be blown away tomorrow. Yes, A game is for men only. You got to hang tight, sisters, because there is something in the works, but A game is for the men. It is formulated specifically for the male physiology, so women would not get a benefit from A game. As a matter of fact, you might get a detriment from it because of the way that it's formulated. Thank you, Hashim. So I know you are making a difference because I've heard her say some of your patented words come out of her mouth. Thank you. Who? Who are you talking about? I'm curious. Who are you talking about? Oh, your wife. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Thank you, Real Bravado. So our black women go out of their way to not come into cooperation with a productive, character-driven black man, even having a fantasy that white men are better when in fact they have a more conservative requirement for wifehood, and they definitely do. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Real Bravado, for all of your support. I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys for modding the way that you do. I appreciate that as well. KC said, your skin is absolutely beautiful. We need that skincare routine. The first step in my skincare routine is I drink nearly almost a gallon of water every day. I drink no less than 64 ounces. No less. 64 is my minimum. Water, and water. And purify it if you can, please. If your water, no tap water. You know what I mean? Because tap water is hard in a lot of places. So like purify it, distill it. Lots and lots of water to help detoxify. I eat a lot of fruit. Fruit is probably about 90 to 95% of my diet. And I use black soap, raw, natural black soap, not soap that's just colored black, but raw black soap. Wash my face with it. I use Noxzema anti-blemish pads to go in and get under the surface of the skin. If you don't want to use raw black soap, the only other thing that I've ever really used on my face is I've used Biore charcoal, activated charcoal face cleanser, which works pretty well. So my skincare regimen is very simple. To moisturize, I've used one of two things. I've used e.l.f., Eyes, Lips, Face, e.l.f.'s face hydration, because it doesn't have a lot of the oils in it that would clog your pores. But in the winter time, I have a drier skin in the winter, so I'll use raw shea butter. Just a little bit in the palm of your hand and then all over. And in the wintertime, it doesn't like block my pores or make me break out or anything like that. So that's basically my skincare regimen. If I put any makeup on, like I got on some makeup right now, I basically immediately take it off and I deep clean my face. So I never sleep with makeup or anything like that, any impurities on my face. And that's basically my skincare. Thank you, Charles Chandler. So your videos helped me realize Black American women directly destroyed the structure of the Black American family. I'm no longer in denial. I am well. Thank you, Crimson Career. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dusty. Said women of other ethnicities continue to study Black men to figure out this is the best option per the way Black men are raised, and what they continue to suffer. The underdog always wins. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alton Prayer, to sending my best regards to you and yours, big sis, all the way from the Netherlands. Oh, okay. Keep up the great work, as I'm sure it's having an impact. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. People are asking a little bit about the diet. When I first started my weight loss journey, I was doing keto. So a cut of sugar, a cut of carbs, which helped me quite a bit to lose a rapid amount of weight. So I'm never going to say nothing bad about keto. I'm technically not on keto anymore. I switched over, like I said, to about a 90 to 95% fruit. I eat fruit, basically. I might throw a piece of salmon in there or something like that for an extra protein boost, but I eat fruit. Detoxifies fruit, herbs, fresh ones. So let's get on back to the cook. Let's get back to the cook. Black women, you're just not feminine. And you deny femininity. You don't like being feminine. You don't like doing the things that it takes to get the result you want out of men. Okay? Thank you, Kendra said. Kendra always delivers. Thank you. I know people are wondering whether or not I'm married currently or not. If you read my bio in the About section, you have your answer. I'm going to address that once. I spent 20 years in a marriage. I'm widowed. I'm currently being courted. What that does is give me the experience of having been a married woman. So those 20 years of my life did not disappear because he passed away. The experience is the experience. The important part about that is that I have not spent the last 44 years in the street getting ran through, getting ran over, and getting ran past by a bunch of men. I have not spent my time being bitter, being jaded, and hating the very men that I want to look to and want to choose me as a wife. So my life experience has equipped me with insight, with some wisdom that I can impart to young women in hopes that they will be helped, in hopes that they will be able to see a different example of a black woman that actually honors men, that honors her own femininity, that embraces that, a woman that has been on a journey, that has lived the black woman's experience, understand the ups and the downs of it, raised in an environment that did not honor femininity. And hopefully young black women will be able to take a look at this content. And even some older black women will be able to take a look at this content and possibly reflect on their own life, their own choices, whether those choices be good or bad, and see where they can improve, where they're good, and where they can be helped. Which is why I speak the way that I speak. Which is why I talk about the subject matter that I talk about. Because someone has to say it. Someone has to say to other Black women that these are the mistakes that we are making. These are the mistakes that our foremothers have made. We cannot continue to make the same mistakes if we wish to have different outcomes in our own lives. We have been lied to. We have been bamboozled. But at the same time, we have to be able to understand where that come from and how to get out of that. We can't just lean on that. We can't lean on, well, feminism was introduced to us and blah, 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 blah. Because at some point, we perpetuate it and we have embraced it and we have not let it go. We have embraced strong and independent. We have embraced alienating Black men. We have embraced alienating femininity. We have embraced the rejection of our family. We have embraced all of these negative things. We have embraced a lost value system that we continue to be lost within. Black women as a whole have embraced these things. This is why a Glorilla can have a come up. This is why a Summer Walker can do what she did and get the support, because generation before supported Nicki Minaj, and the generation before supported Lil' Kim, and the generation before, you understand? So now our image is greatly tarnished. As we can see with the video that I showed earlier in the show of the white man saying, you all are too masculine. Why are we so masculine? And instead of blaming this one and that one and the outside and the powers that be, for once, Black women are going to have to look inward. Instead of blaming Black men. Oh, they don't protect us. Oh, they don't do. Oh, they don't, or whatever. We are women. And at some point, we are going to have to take responsibility of being women and what that means. Because if the same women that don't want to hear why Black men are in the condition they're in because of society, we don't want to hear why you not feminine because of society. We don't want to hear it. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. So if Black men can't blame so-called the society for his position, then you're not going to be able to blame society for your position. Other women are more feminine. And y'all get mad at other women for saying it. You get mad at other men for saying it. Running around here mad at the Filipina P because she like, no, passport bros are passport bros because of y'all. We just here welcoming them. Y'all the ones sent them over here. Because if you were feminine, there wouldn't be a such thing as passport bros. You mad at passport bros, but if black women were as feminine as you want the world to believe while not portraying that to the world, there would not be a passport bro movement. If black women were the prize and black men were the problem, then this white man, along with so many other white men and so many other Asian men and so many other ethnicities of men, would not be coming out making more videos talking about y'all can't divest to us because we don't see value in you because you're not feminine. You don't make good wives. You don't make good mothers. You don't make good companions. You're not a good support system. We don't see that. We see you as loud. We see you as belligerent. We see you as promiscuous. We see you as, unintelligent. That's what we see. We see you as chaotic. We see you as troublemakers. And there is absolutely no demographic or ethnicity of man that looks upon black women as a come up or a boost to him or a boon to him. When he come around with you, he know his family is going to look down on his choice. And they're going to ask him, they're going to pull him to the side and ask him if he couldn't have done better. Why did he go to the gutter to get you? Black women are the gutter snipes of women. They are not seen as a come up at all. They are not seen as valuable women at all. Black women are not viewed as this wonderful woman that the men should aspire to have and other women should aspire to be. That is not who we are. That is not the image that we promote. That is not the image that we support. That is not the image we stand by. Because when black women come out and they are that in public, when they come out and they are feminine in public, when they come out and they uplift men in public, when they come out and they are supportive of black men and supportive of femininity and supportive of submission and supportive of cooperation, black women got names. They got jokes. When black women come out and say we should not be 2 and 3 and 4 time baby mamas. We should not glorify single motherhood. We should not glorify not being able to be married. We should not glorify hoe culture. We should not glorify thought culture. Y'all get mad. Y'all get mad with that. When black women come up and speak out to show, hey, we know how to be women. Y'all accuse them of being pick-me's. Y'all accuse them of being mammies. You accuse them of trying to be white girls. So you got a problem with feminine black women. Other black women got a problem with feminine black women. This is why the division need to be made. This is why the lioness must always separate herself from the hyena. Thank you, Eugene said cook. Thank you. When black women come out and say, you know what, sis, it ain't nothing wrong with getting your PhD or getting your bachelor's or getting your, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to get a career. But baby, that does not describe you or your value as a wife and a mate. You have to adopt feminine qualities and the qualities of being a woman. Now y'all want to argue about what's the qualities of being a woman. Y'all want to argue about that. Thank you, Grease Man. So hyenas talk about being feminine. 2 days later, cheering on an army of bald-head, muscular black women kill 100 men in movies. Thank you. Thank you once again. Pharaoh says stuff like what you and Kevin taught is why 73% of black women are single. If nothing changes, it will be in the 90 percentages Kevin warned us. Exactly. Y'all get mad. Y'all don't support that. Hyenas do not support that. And this is why I'm always calling lionesses to differentiate and don't stand so close. Don't stand so close to me, because you be guilty by association. When the lightning strike her, it'll hit you. This is why we have to speak up about that behavior and shame that behavior. Silence is agreement. We cannot be like, oh, well, you know, they over there, or oh, they just having fun, or oh, they just whatever. We can no longer make the excuse for the bad behavior. These hyenas study asking men the same question, hoping they get a different answer. Do you value women with high body counts? No, they do not. No, they do not. Men are not going to give you a different answer. You can ask that question 300 years from now, and men are going to say, no, we see you as whores. They're not going to say nothing no different. You can ask 100 years from now, does my degree mean anything to you in terms of whether or not I'm a suitable wife and mother of your children? He gonna say no. You gotta have feminine qualities for me. I'm already masculine. I'm already going out into the world fighting and struggling and opposing my environment. When I come home, I need something soft, not hard. I got all the hard body parts we need for the both of us. You want to be loved and cherished by men, but you don't want to do the things that it takes to get that from them. Not only do you bring nothing tangible to the table, you do not even bring a sense of peace to make that man life easier. You don't even bring that to the table. You don't even bring a peaceful spirit to the table. You don't even bring a feminine attitude to the table. You don't even bring a good disposition to the table. You don't even bring a smile to the table. You don't even bring a positive attitude to the table. You don't bring a good value system to the table. You don't bring no integrity to the table. You don't bring no honesty to the table. You don't bring no loyalty to the table. You don't bring no respect to the table. You bring nothing. Nothing that a man would ever want in his right mind. Nothing he can work with. You don't have no tools he can work with. None. And you getting mad that other men see that and they don't come get you. You sit up all day and talk about how you're going to treat men badly. Thank you, DX. Us real men appreciate you and love you to death, Kendra. Thank you so much. I love you all as well. And a lioness cannot follow that example. Do not let these hyenas shame you into being good, into not being good women, and into not being good to your husbands. If that man is taking care of you, that man is honoring you, that man is respecting you, that man is loving you, only a lioness wants to reciprocate that. You ain't worth the salt going bread as a woman. If you can get a man that's doing everything that he possibly can do to be a good man, and you don't never think to yourself, man, he doing all this stuff for me, what am I doing for him? I can name 10 things he do for me on a day-to-day basis without thinking. Can I name 10 things I do for him? Can I name 5? Thank you, Barry. Said keep cooking. Can I name 2? 2 things I do for him. Can I name any ways in which I support this man? Can I name any ways or any things that I do that's exclusively for him, that is for the benefit of him, that don't benefit me? Can I name anything that I do that benefit him that don't benefit me? Because men do that all day. Stuff that you like, stuff that benefits you, that he don't get nothing from. And I'm not talking about no household chores, because you would be doing that, hopefully, whether you was with him or not. You would be making you something to eat and washing them little funky clothes and mopping them floors. That's not for him. You claim you want men to open up to you, not when you a gutter snipe. Not when you looking to use all of his intimate moments and his vulnerable information against him at some point. Thank you, France. Said, great show. Black women want independence and chaos instead of being feminine and wanting peace in a relationship. Peace is boring to them. Men would be vulnerable to you if you wasn't a gutter snipe. If you wasn't a snake in the grass. If you wasn't so dang disloyal. Thank you, Don Jetter. Say you talking real heavy right now. Men would be vulnerable with you. All them years of being married, you don't think I saw the vulnerable side of that man? You don't think I saw that man at his low point? You don't think I saw that man broke down? The only reason that he was ever at any point for any reason and any measurement able to be vulnerable in front of me was because I wasn't a gutter snipe. I never used his information against him. Never brought it back up. Never told nobody. Thank you, Wyatt. Said they bring eyelashes, wigs, fake nails, and another man's kids. Yeah, all stuff men don't want. He would tell you his inner thought. He would give you the deeper part of his foresight. He would share with you the intimacy of his vision if he thought you cared at all about it. Because that's how men are vulnerable. Thank you, Miami. You are in rare form today, and I love everything about you. Your year of the simp is over with, and they're actually seeing that no man wants drama. No. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to cut out of here. Y'all don't even know what y'all are asking for when you ask men to be vulnerable to you. You don't know how they are vulnerable. It's not, they don't sit around and cry in front of you. That's not how they do that. When a man is being vulnerable to you, that means he shares with you his inner thought about whatever, the world, where he sees himself, how he views things. That's men's vulnerability. That's how they tap into that with you. Am I lying? The brothers can help me out. That is male, that is masculine vulnerability. They'll tell you how they feel. They ain't gonna sit around with no bunch of Kleenex tissues crying over a rom-com to tell you how they feel. He vulnerable when he come in from that day and he reach for you. And it ain't no words. He just reach for you. Physically. He holding you. But it do something for him. Because he's trying to get the feminine energy out of you. That's his vulnerability. Thank you, Professor, once again, for that part about using his intimacy against him is real. Yeah, that's his vulnerability. That look he give you, that smile he get, that's him being vulnerable with you. When he pillow talk you, that's his vulnerability with you. You think he's supposed to, cry over a bottle of box wine with you. That's not what he do. He ain't gonna sit and rock in the middle of the floor with you. And he's not gonna sit there and talk for an hour about how he feel. That is not how men communicate at all. That's not how they do it. You got to be listening to hear a man's communication. If you ain't listening, you'll miss it. Because he ain't gonna do it but a couple of times. He'll say something simple to you. I'm tired. And he don't mean he's sleepy. That's 2 words. I'm tired. And you got to know what that means. You got to know that when he look at you and say, I'm tired. You got to know he mean he holding the world on his shoulders and is tired. You got to know he mean, come give me some feminine energy. Pour into me. I'm tired. I'm carrying a lot of things that I absolutely would not say to you or tell you the weight of that burden. But what I am going to say is, I'm tired. Y'all don't hear me today. But I ain't going to keep you long from your turkey and from your yams. Thank you, Lawrence, that sneaked away to hear a good word from you while cooking, sending love and much respect to you, sis. Thank you so much. And I know that food good. Thank you once again, Nehemia. Thank you so much. Y'all got to understand what men is talking about. Why don't he express his feelings? He did. You the one threw him back in his face. You the one was dismissive of it when he said it. That's why he don't open up no more. Open up to you for what? They ain't stupid. You just think men stupid. Men ain't stupid. Men are not stupid by a long shot. We not stupid either. We not stupid enough to support Black Lives Matter organization, knowing that they are a scam and that they stole more than $100 million in donated funds away from the Black community. We not stupid either. And to prove that we are not stupid and not going to take that lying down, we started a petition against the Black Lives Matter Global Network and Foundation to hold them accountable for that theft. Along with that petition, we also began a 6-step initiative that is going to attempt to sort of bridge the gap between the Black community and what Black Lives Matter didn't do, which was support us all across the United States. We just didn't get any support. Thank you again, Lawrence. And nah, I'm keto, down 40 pounds. I credit you mentioning it. It works. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. You know you can make keto dressing. I did it one time, but that is another show. That is another show. So we have a 6-step initiative that we have completed the first 2 steps on and actively working on the third, which is to get a spokesperson that's going to be the leader for this initiative. Our goal for the petition is 100,000 signatures at least, okay? So in order to reach that, we definitely need everybody's support. We need you to sign the petition. Most of all, we need you to share it and also to contribute to it as well. You'll find the link to the petition in the chat and also in the description box. I want to thank everyone for their support today. I know you guys are kind of chilling, watching the game, cooking, eating, whatever you're doing, and spending time with family. So I definitely appreciate you taking some time out of this day to spend a little time with me today. Thank you for your contributions through Super Chat, through PayPal, and through Cash App. I want to also give a warm thank you to my support team, without which we cannot give you this content. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.